On Capitol Hill today, Senator Mary Landrieu will unveil a disaster aid package that she says will help Gulf Coast businesses and communities impacted by the storm. The measure consists of legislation to speed up revenue sharing for coastal states, as well as a series of amendments to strengthen the Obama administration's $118 million aid request for the Emergency Supplemental Appropriations Bill. Senator Landrieu joins us now by phone with more on this package. Good morning, Senator. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning, Rob.
And talk a little bit about the main tenets of what you're trying to push through here today.
Well, first of all, this is an opportunity as the world is now focused once again on the Gulf Coast to say how grossly unfair the people of the Gulf Coast have been treated all of these many years by being host to this industry but not sharing sufficiently in the profits and revenues produced by this industry. And this has been a long mantra of ours from the Gulf Coast states, and now it's time, to settle that score. And what it will mean is immediately monies available to build coastal islands, to make our marshes more resilient, to protect our people, not just from hurricanes and floods, but from this that could happen. So that's the key component. But the other components are more immediate in the sense of getting disaster funds into the hands of fishermen and shrimpers and oystermen and other industries, marine-related activities, captains of boats that have been put out of business, making sure that that claims process works as efficiently and as helpful as possible. And then thirdly, on the environmental side, pushing for some additional research to make sure that our marshes, if affected, and they are being affected, can recover very quickly.
How confident are you this will pass, and if it does, when will the impact seeing some of that aid?
Well, first of all, I think it's going to be a battle. I don't think this is going to be easily done because, of course, the federal government is running deficits, so anytime we ask for additional, it'll be very difficult. But as I have said, interior states have received this kind of revenue since the 1940s. President Truman, in his wisdom, offered this arrangement to us, and that agreement was never made. Now, we did pass revenue sharing, and it is the law, but the money doesn't start under the current law until 2017. I'm asking it to start immediately. And then on the loan disaster relief, BP will have to pay every fisherman, every business, every hotel, every restaurant for any economic damage. We want to make sure that those businesses have some money to operate until those BP claims can, and that's one of the things that we're working on. But please know, and everyone should know, that the federal government and the industry, not just BP, but the entire industry, the Energy Department, everyone is doing everything they can to plug this well and to stop this flow of oil, and then we'll focus on cleaning up what's been spilled.
And Senator, obviously, the folks down here are waiting very much with bated breath for approval from the Army Corps of Engineers to proceed with this dredging project, which will allow basically to rebuild some of the barrier islands. And we'll keep waiting for that decision. Do you have a better sense than any of us do about when that decision could come down and which way the Corps is leaning?
No, we're asking the Corps, they should be completed with their evaluation very quickly. I know that there's some positive and negative aspects associated with that, and I'm just not sure, but we're pressing them every day for an answer.
Well, they said yesterday is that they're assessing the environmental impact of what that dredging could do, but certainly the environmental impact of that would have to be far less than the impact of all that oil coming on shore.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, they're put out thousands and thousands of, feet of boom, and again, trying to get this oil stopped. But this, I am, supportive of the administration breaking up this agency. It's been much too cozy in the past, minerals management. Now, many of those people work in Louisiana. As you know, the main office is right there in Elmwood, and we have hundreds of people, Louisiana residents, that work in the offshore MMS. They're good people, but this agency needs to be restructured so that they can do better regulation of this deep water industry. And the last thing we want the federal government to do is to shut down offshore drilling. We need this oil, we need the gas, but we need to make sure it's done more safely. We've got thousands of jobs at risk on every side, on the fisherman side, on the oil and gas side, and we need a balanced, measured, and smart approach as we move forward.
All right, Senator, good luck getting that package passed. Appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you.